Today's tool is the Gantt chart. Okay guys, I thought I'd join video this time just to kind of mix it up a little bit and talk to you about today's tool, which is the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart communicates the project activities to your customers, your stakeholders, your team members, right? It's basically the other side of the project schedule. It's the graphical side, right? And so it's one of the most common used tools in the project manager's toolbox, clearly. We're going to get into it. We're going to show you all the goodness that you can do with it. But I really like the Gantt chart because really that gives you that graphical view over a timeline. And so we're going to jump into that and show you exactly what that looks like. So should all be using a Gantt chart today. That should be something that people are pretty much focused on. And so that's awesome. But let's jump into it. And again, let's start with, and we'll jump over here to the planning questions. When we think about the planning questions in the Gantt chart, really think about when would you use it, why would you use it, how would you use it, right? Well, the Gantt chart is going to show you the project schedule. So when we use it, really the biggest part will be the initiation and the planning phase. You're going to get that project schedule set up. You're going to get the timelines, the resources, all the dependencies set up, and then you're going to use it throughout the life of the project. And so why do you use a tool, right? When you think about why, it's because it's graphically going to show the project tasks over the timelines, right? How will you use it? Well, you'll distribute it. You'll show it in status meetings. You'll basically be, tied to the hip as a project manager to know exactly how your project's executing. And so you're constantly going to be pushing that schedule out, constantly be moving dates around. And one of the most valuable things of a project schedule, especially the Gantt chart, is playing those what if scenarios, right? What if we have to do this? What if we have to move the project in? Right? So what information does it cost? What decisions? What information? What historical? All these are great questions. These are all planning questions and things to think about as you use a project schedule or a Gantt chart specifically on your project. So let's jump in like we always do to the introduction. So that's the introduction. Again, I highlighted and I said it here. The what if is a really, really important aspect. And so here's your first example, right? Your Gantt chart, just 3 simple tasks, right? And so on the left, you're seeing the text version of the Gantt chart. And on the right, and I just made it small there for this particular picture, you're starting to see percentage complete. You're seeing dependencies and the dates where tasks are going to be executed. And so we keep going. There's multiple tools. There's Project, there's Visio, there's ViewPad. I mean, there's just a ton of tools you can use. Some of the things that we don't do and we don't talk about a lot in the Gantt chart is we can see the cost chart. We can see the earned value chart, a time chart, a labor chart. These are all great things you can set up. Here's another example. You got John, Bob. You can see percent complete. And again, we're going to go live in here in a sec. So I just wanted to kind of get you all set up. Here's a much larger version. It is upside. It is definitely a little bit hard to read here, but clearly you can read it in the book. And then as we go through the mastering, it tells you exactly how to create the Gantt chart. So let's do this. Let's pop into a schedule. You're going to see a Gantt chart. And what we're going to do just in this particular example, which I really love, is we're just going to kind of hide the text version. And so this is the Gantt chart. And so when you're looking at this Gantt chart, there is a ton of things that you can set up and a ton of goodness that you can really drive when you have this thing set up. So let's look at this. Very simple 5 tasks. And so one of the things that people just really don't know about is when you right click, right? So when you right click, you can do a ton of different things here. One of the things I like is the different layouts. And so you've got different layout options. And so if you click the option, you can see there's no dependency lines. And so if you're stuck and you're seeing your project and you don't see the dependency lines, let's go look at that layout. Here's an example of a dependency line as well, just different versions of it. Another example is, and again, everything's about right clicking, your bar styles. How would you like to actually change up your bars and see some red and see some, different styles and different formats and different patterns, right? All this stuff is available and now everything turns red. And so you have a really good control over exactly what you want to show. You're seeing, again, in the Gantt chart, you're seeing timelines, but of course you can look at that time scale, and you can adjust that time scale with the multiple tiers. And I think if you've used Project for a while, that should be pretty familiar to it. But that's another view of what you can do with the time scale. Again, when you adjust it, you can see that over the weekend you're not working, so you've got that, and you can drive that as well. You can add people's names. There is just so much you can do. You can hide progress or show progress, right? And it's just really, really an awesome component and a tool that you need to use in your toolbox. So this is the Project Gantt chart. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and really giving me comments on whether you like these tools or not. But thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all online. Thanks. Excited to walk you through this. So as part of our course that we've been walking through, the Project Management Communication Tools course I've been putting up on YouTube and you guys have been watching, a lot of people are asking me about how do I get the actual files and how do I get this information. So a couple things I wanted to point out. If you jump into the paid tools, there's really 2 or 3 components I want to show you here. First of all the various PDF files. So for projects, for small projects, here's a PDF file, and what we've done, and you've seen this before, but we've broken down the tools of what you should use for small projects, what you should use for medium projects, what you should use for large projects. So we've broken all those down. And so as we go through this course, you're going to see, and I'll just jump into one of them, for example, you're going to see it's really a PDF of the book. It's 158 pages, so as we go through the course and we look at customer requirements and you actually see all the text and stuff that we're going through, that comes directly from the book. And so what we've done here is we've broken them down. So small projects from 1 week to 3 months, here are the tools in initiation, here are the tools in planning, and so on and so on. So you guys can go check those out on my store at any time. I'll come back, and again, of course, there's the medium projects and then for large projects. Now, again, if you're looking for the tools, so you actually love these and you don't want to hand type these tools are certainly right available right there. So again, it's really, really important as we walk through and you guys understand the tools and you want to start using the tools, you can certainly hand type all these tools, not a problem, or you can spend that low price and grab these tools and make them available for you right now. So very, very excited. I just want to spend a couple minutes. It's dowpublishingllc.com/store-2. Very easy to find. The files are right there. And again, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.